Excellent.
You're in HD, too.
See? Everything's better in Skype 8. Paul Thurrott.
It's going to end up in an advertisement.
Yep. What could go wrong?
Well, what am I doing?
You dirty jugs.
Why is the camera not refocusing? Am I doing it the wrong way? Oh, there we go.
Is it because you're using Skype?
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Is that the ghost of Tech Ed's past?
No, it's where I told my daughter all the food for the restaurant comes from.
Nice. And that's why she doesn't eat meat. How I could have done this more efficiently, but here we are. Story of my life. Yeah. Oh. Kill streak. Ripped off.
We are so sorry for your loss.
Yeah, how do you think I feel? That's really disappointing.
People on the outside world, the audio, okay, it looks okay on this end, but I've said that before, and, well.
And you are a perennial liar.
It's actually, yeah, that's...
The term is pathological liar.
You know, the words hurt.
I know. I'm sorry. They come too easily. They need a term for like a serial killer, but verbal.
Whoops. Why did the...
What was that, Brad?
Well, that's annoying. Let me fix that real quick. The intro and outro little hotkeys got changed. And I was gonna play a funny on you, but it didn't work.
Instead, you played a funny on yourself. Ironic. No, who cares? What else? I think we all knew it was only a matter of time before a Google CEO testified before Congress. You know, we all kind of expected this.
Damn it, Skype. You're going to ask why, and you'll see why in your top right corner.
Yep. It's good stuff. But Skype 8 doesn't do that.
But it does.
Why? Okay, that's everything.
Welcome back, my little friends, to the podcast that will never start.
Right.
I did a really bad job of not thinking about what a giant blue image where the camera focuses on to a white balance.
Mm-hmm. It's a curious image, too. It looks like it's in ice. What is this thing? An Allosaurus or something?
That is, I think it's a T-Rex.
Oh, yeah.
So
this
is
little finger there.
I think it's at the, well, actually, I think it's at the T-Rex diner or restaurant at Disney World, and you can understand why they call it the T-Rex restaurant. You can sit in the giant ice cave and it literally gets, well, not literally, but it figuratively gets hit by a meteor and lights and things and go off, and it's very Disney-esque. And that's where we ate dinner.
Does it come back to life? Does Disney own those movies? Jurassic Park? That's someone else, isn't it?
Yeah, it's somebody else. But do they own Land Before Time? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, sure. They have dinosaurs.
I don't know. So, Paul, this is interesting, and I have no idea. It's going to be fascinating if this was actually your problem. So you,
it's not going to be my problem, but go on.
You appear to be in HD today.
Yep.
What did you also do today?
I upgraded to Skype 8. I saw this blog post. Microsoft said everything was better. I thought, what could go wrong? Right?
Yeah. So I'm wondering if maybe the reason why you were not always in HD is because you're on Skype 7.
Because Skype 7 couldn't handle HD. That's the theory.
Maybe it wasn't as fancy.
I don't think that's it. And I think we both know Skype well enough to know that by sometime next week, this will be back to some crapola video thing. And it also looks like I'm kind of, maybe it's just the window I'm in. It looks less widescreen.
Did you lose weight?
No, sadly, no. I don't know what, anyway. Yeah.
So here we are, back again. And Paul, I feel like I haven't seen you enough.
I know. I've been hanging around with my wife instead. And I have to say, it's not the same.
Actually, so when I got back,
for reasons both good and bad.
When I got back, I told my wife, I was like, hey, I got to go to New York next week for another Microsoft thing. And she's like, why didn't they just combine them? It would have made the keynote about 1 million times more interesting.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yep.
That would have been nice.
It would have been
Plus,
nice.
There's an awkwardness to this. Are you going to the Monday thing?
I don't know yet. I get in relatively early on Monday, but then I got to do a webinar Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
And
my wife might actually come on this trip, by the way. But regardless, suffice to say, tomorrow or Monday afternoon will be spent at Rattle. But the problem for me is I have to be there really early on Monday morning for an event that is in the morning. And then I have to be there on Tuesday for another event that is in the very late afternoon. These couldn't be worse. For 2 days that are right next to each other, the schedule of these things could not be worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to book a second night at a hotel, which I'm really excited about. That was a major pain in the ass. I think I told you this story because Google I didn't see that Google had put in the dates as 2 weeks out, I thought I was going to get into the Hilton there, Rattle and Hum, for like $175 a night, and the actual cost of that hotel, Brad, is $575.
Let I remind you that people, we are now running a Thurrott Premium Renewal membership drive, please.
Yeah, please. Well, anyway, I went as cheaply as I could. It's New York City, and as cheaply as I could maps out to somewhere in the $250 to $275 a night range. That's just the cost, Well, the cost is usually much more than that. $300 to $400, I would say, is maybe the more normal price for a night in New York next week.
Yeah, I'm still wondering why I'm coming in on Monday, actually.
Well, there is an event that night you're also welcome to come to and should come to.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Because I definitely could have flown in Tuesday morning and left Wednesday morning, but here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are with Poor Choices Daily. Anyways, did you see that Volkswagen chose the Microsoft Cloud for IoT, and they're going to start?
Yeah,
that's a big deal. We usually don't talk these like wins that Microsoft gets. They love to tout them, but I think this one's a little bit more than your average Joe.
Hopefully, this won't be Volkswagen's next scandal.
Wow.
But yes. Well, but this is exactly the kind of deal that I thought Microsoft could make, right? For the Azure backend services. This makes total sense. This is really very much, in the old days, this deal would have been about getting Windows Automotive into a vehicle or some nonsense like that nobody ever wanted. To me, this makes tons of sense. This is, so this is good. And Volkswagen either was or will again be or whatever is like the number 1 or 2 automaker in the world.
Yep.
So it's not like they sign. I'm trying to think of some little car maker like they didn't sign up with a Bugatti or I don't even know who made cars.
Well, I think
who the
Volkswagen
small,
actually makes Bugatti.
yes, well, of course they do. Yeah, right. Like right. Volkswagen owns half of Europe now, don't they? Skoda
they do.
probably. Yeah. Anywho, okay. So terrible example. Yeah. Anyway, you get the idea. So yeah, this is a big deal.
Yeah. Speaking of next week, John, we'll just call him John in the chat room, says, "Hi all. Does anyone know if the Microsoft event next week is going to be live streamed? I'm assuming it will be given the multiple hardware announcements. I don't know that it is actually.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this is going to be a small event modeled after the Surface Book 2 briefing from a year ago. Interestingly, Microsoft invited a select group of Windows insiders to come to the same venue. Presumably, it might. I don't know if they're going to get to look at the Surface hardware, if it's more about Windows, because they're.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like, look, here's how we're going to promote Windows to the press or something. I'm not really sure what they're going to see, but that event, curiously, is before ours. How much better would it be if our event was at the earlier time? We could get the heck out of there. I tried to sneak into it. I got an email back that said, "Nice try, but you are not invited." And because I was trying to, you know what I was trying to do. But looks like I'm stuck.
I don't even know where it is in New York. I hope it's near.
Oh, right. I haven't even looked this up. That's a good point. So these things, right, because where it is in New York could dramatically impact how this day goes, just because of the difficulty of getting back and forth in Manhattan, especially.
This is when we find out it's actually in Jersey.
Yes. Well, God, I wish it would be. That'd be closer to home. I could drive to Jersey City, but yeah, we're screwed, I think is the short answer. I don't remember. I'm not even I should look that up, Brad. That's a good point. I just put all my calendar stuff together, and the one thing I didn't put together was the Microsoft event. Yeah, I don't have it in my calendar.
That is most unfortunate.
Yes, it is.
Curious, have you used this Brave browser? I saw you write about it this morning.
Yeah, I have. I like it quite a bit. In fact, when I went to Europe this summer, I meant to do a short series on alternate browsers, and Brave was the one that was kind of at the top of my list because it uses Chromium, which is the basis of Chrome, and thus kind of supplies that thing that I think a lot of people are looking for, which is everything that's good about Chrome with none of the Google stuff, Opera is kind of in the mix as well, and there's some other browsers too. Brave is interesting because they have a mobile client everywhere. It's on all desktop platforms, including Linux. It's not quite at 1.0, right? So the beta release just came out today or yesterday, or whatever. When 1.0 comes out or before 1.0 comes out, they will have mobile to PC sync. Like they don't have cross-device sync yet, but it's coming. And it's got a very nice kind of, I would call it almost Safari-esque kind of minimalist user interface, which I like. It's highly configurable. It works with Chrome plugins. It's got all these pros, and it's really about it's about a number of things, but the two big ones probably are security and privacy, automatic blocking of trackers and ads, and then just performance, because that other thing also helps with performance, right? When you don't have a bunch of ads and blockers coming on all the time. So it's definitely something to look at, because to me, like the minimum for any browser is it has to be available on mobile, so you can sync. Yeah. And Firefox does this. Edge didn't do it for a while. Now it does do that. That's big. Chrome obviously does it. I'm trying to think of the name of the one. What's the one? There's another browser I've tried recently. It does not have a mobile client. I can't remember the name, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, they will do it. There is a mobile client, and they will have the sync.
Well, great. Does it support all? What about all the extensions?
Yeah. It's all there. Yeah, well, I mean, I believe it supports all Chrome extensions. There may be some incompatibilities, here and there, I guess, but the ones that I use, Grammarly, Pocket, I don't actually put an ad blocker on there anymore because it just has that. But the stuff I do use works. It's absolutely worth trying. Just kind of it has a dark mode, which Chrome doesn't have, by the way.
Other question. How do they make money?
Volume. No, I'm not really sure. This company was started by Brandon Eich, who was a co-founder of Mozilla and also the inventor of the JavaScript programming language. One of the other side, this feature is somewhat controversial because I don't think it's very well supported, but there's kind of a built-in contribution system that content creators can sign up for, and you can choose to pay the sites that you visit. You don't have to use it. You can just say no to it as you step through setup. But it's kind of that's another interesting aspect to it. To me, the bigger deal is it's just the performance and the security and the privacy stuff, and the fact that it is Chromium is big, right? It is, it is one of the things you might. It's the Google-less Chrome maybe that you might have been looking for.
The Google-less Chrome.
Google-less.
Oh gosh. The nice thing about traveling is that it's real helpful for staying on top of life and everything else that's going on.
Yep. I like when I look at my RSS feed after a day and there's like 183 things in it, and you're like, here we go. Yep.
Any last minute guesses or surprises you think we'll see next week?
Yeah, I don't anticipate anything surprising. I think it's going to be Surface Laptop, Surface Pro 6. I think it's going to be Windows 10 version 1809 is now available. I think we're going to have a little casual encounter with Panos like we did last year. Not the golf thing, Brad, the other thing.
Well, no, now I got to ping him at a book and let me talk to him.
And I think we're going to have a Windows 10 pavilion type thing where we walk around and we see all the, maybe some peripherals. They're arguably overdue for a new dock, but it looks like, this is incredible to me, but a lot of the leaks we've seen these devices may not even have USB-C ports. I don't even know what to think anymore. I don't know. Maybe a new Surface Studio. Actually, there was a rumor about that. More RAM, more graphics, always appreciated. Quite newer generation chips. I don't think we're going to see anything beyond that.
Yeah, I agree. Other things that just were announced not long ago: Facebook network breach impacts up to 50 million users.
Whew. It's bad timing because I don't already hate Facebook. So,
right.
Kudos to them.
Yep, and while it was a,
I hope someone hacks my account. I want advertisers to send shit to all of my friends on Facebook, because when I go on Facebook, it's like I want to murder people. Like the stuff that people post now on Facebook is just it's either the most insular, navel-gazing baloney or political stuff that I absolutely don't want to see. I don't understand. How did this happen? It's just awful that this thing, which should be wonderful, has turned into such a cesspool.
That's what we say about you.
Yeah, that's fair.
What was
it you said earlier? Words hurt, I think.
Yeah. I got to tell you, it feels like it was a month ago that we were in Orlando. And
I think I told this yesterday. I feel like we were gone for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We've only been gone a couple of days. It was really like three days back to back, really. I mean, it wasn't enough time, for anything to change in any of the online stores or any of the content store or whatever. I mean, it's just, I don't know why it affects me this much. Oh, well.
Yep. All right. Well, as much as we've had to talk about this week, this is obviously a little bit of a shorter show. You got anything else before we shut her down, Paul?
I do have one thing, Brad.
Uh-oh.
Look what I got. Oop, wrong way.
Whoa, wow.
Yeah.
Did you buy that?
No, actually, they sent it to Megan Maroney at Twit to review. She doesn't have any way to use it. I almost don't myself. She asked Mary Jo and I if either one of us wanted it, and I was like, sure. So I will. We have one electronic thermostat upstairs. It's not super new, but it is a touch screen. It seems to work pretty well. I don't know that I would replace that, although that might be an easier swap. But the one we have downstairs in the hall here is one of those old-fashioned, analog things with the dial on it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's in a hallway, so a lot of the times it will kind of be on the side here. It's not.
Sure.
It's not the type of thing where you kind of see it over on a wall and it's kind of nice. But Yeah, maybe that's the right place for it. So if that can happen, I would. I'll see if I can't put it out there. Well, not me personally. I'm an idiot.
Well, we know.
Someone have someone help me with that, but maybe
It's
my brother.
surprisingly not that difficult, Mr. Threat.
Yeah, maybe I should just try it. You know?
Yeah, I installed my Nest. I mean, I think,
Yeah.
depending on your system, it's like 3 or 4 wires, and you just line them up.
How about power though? How did you handle the power part of it? Was it just built into the thing?
Well, yeah, there's like 3 or 4 wires back there, and they just screw them in. And
So here, let me show you this little guy. Actually, it's not that little. That's the problem. There's also this thing. It's like, I don't know what, I haven't looked. I literally just opened it before the show because I thought you might want to see it, but I don't know. This looks like, would this go on the wall? I'm not even sure.
I bet it does. I bet that thing connects to the
Just drop it into
thermostat.
the wall.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sure it does too, but yeah, maybe some of it goes to the connecting cables and some of it goes to the device. I don't know.
Well, make sure you live stream whatever you do.
Yes. It's going to be like me getting electrocuted.
It's what we want.
Oh, brother. Anyway, how about you, Brad? Do you have anything going on? Big weekend plans?
Nope.
All right. Perfect.
All right. That wraps it up for today, folks. We'll be in New York next week. I'm anticipating shows are going to be, well, much like last week, a little sporadic because we have to record them locally, then edit, then upload, and all that good stuff. But we will be at the event covering whatever Microsoft announces, and have yourselves a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch you right back here next time.
Are you familiar with the fact that Outlook.com very recently just added the ability to use a custom domain? This was something that previously was only available through Outlook Premium, which they no longer offer. I saw this, and I saw it in the product, and I thought, this is really cool. Someone just asked about it, and I'm like, oh, it's in the product. And so I went to go find it. I can't find it.
Oh.
Like, I know it's in here.
I've never done it, to be honest.
Oh, here it is. It's okay. Here's why. It is it's a premium feature. It requires Office 365. There you go. Okay. That's all.
All right.
Thanks, man. That was a lot of help. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm here for you. Bye.
Have a good one.